pouring salt into the world, willing to erase what I'd lose for it, to accept what I assume. So I'm pulling the anchor and drifting away, blinded by reason beyond disarray. It's what fire cannot burn. It's what fire cannot searching for something.
Yeah. We're searching. We're searching for some NFL playoffs, another trip to the Super Bowl. That's right, baby. Playoff time is here. St. Ricketts with Fire Cannot Burn, www.saintricketts.com. We know them, we love them. They are the theme song to what we call Tuesdaying, another 100% live episode of The Yo Show. Yo, as you know. Jewel Tatey will be along shortly, a little bit behind. Again, that work schedule pounding on her, but we'll have her here shortly. It is a Tuesday night. It is an Eagles Tuesday night as we prepare for the New York Football Giants this Saturday night. A lot of people are like, oh, it's changing my plans. It's canceling my plans Saturday night. Just get there and watch the damn game, will you? Eagles Giants, especially after last night watching the Cowboys take care of Mr. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to another Tuesday night live episode of The Yo Show. I am Jeff the Shark Perini. Jewel Tatey is normally with me. She'll be along in a moment or two. And we'll get started. We got a great program tonight. We have a singer-songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee tonight, Mr. Drew Smith. We are very special guests. Pop a little picture of Drew up there. Make sure we get the right picture this time after I blow it earlier in the week. My apologies to Drew. There he is. Looks a little bit like Trevor Lawrence. Speaking of the NFL playoffs. Okay, Drew will be with us at around 8:30 tonight. We got one or two songs, depending on time, to play from him as well. I got my Eagles hat on. I got my Eagles shirt. Eagles, just hate us. Look at that little Nike swish. Just hate us. That's fine. Everybody around the league talk a lot of smack, especially those Cowboys fans and the Giants fans with a lot to say. And nobody really cares about the Eagles, and that's all well and good. I care about the Eagles, baby, and that's all that matters. And we're here to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about the playoffs, some hot topics, some good stories right here on the Yo Show. Of course, Yo 2.0, our Wednesday night program tomorrow night. Let's start off real quick. Speaking of the Super Bowl and things we're doing great, the Yo Show is getting very excited to appear live, 100% live and in person for us to see. It's going to be a live broadcast of the Yo Show. You find the banner right here. It is the Yo Show live, February 11th. That's right. That is the Saturday before the Super Bowl. Saturday 11th at Murphy's Beef and Ale, 5725 Bristol Emily Road, Levittown, PA. If you are watching live or you're watching on recording and you're in the area, come on by. Saturday 11th, it's going to be a live episode of the Yo Show, a wing eating contest, great specials on hand, a Tecmo Super Bowl contest. That's right, remember good old Tecmo Super Bowl? A little something to get us psyched for football in the Super Bowl. That'll be a Tecmo showdown. It's Murphy's Beef and Ale. Once again, 5725 Bristol Emily Road, Levittown, PA. A great wing bowl eating competition, Tecmo Super Bowl tournament, the Yo Show live. Myself, Jewel Tatey, and Yo 2.0's own Ali Commissara will be there. Trying to get a couple of special guests that are program regulars to pop on. We're going to have some t-shirts. We're going to have some Yo Show clan and cheerleaders with us. We're going to have a great time, and it's always a great event at Murphy's. It'll be upstairs in their party room. Should be a great crowd. Should be a great competition. Make sure you get there. Make sure you say hello to the Yo Show. We will be on hand. That's a great banner. Made that all by myself. Not terrific. I get excited for everything football, as you know, and had a great wild card weekend. Jaguars coming back from enormous amounts of points. Poor Chargers. Jaguars made a second half comeback. Just almost unbelievable. They're advancing. They're playing the Chiefs. The Giants, as you know, get Philly. Dallas goes to San Francisco. And then the game from a few weeks ago, the DeMar Hamlin incident, is finally going to happen. Cincinnati and Buffalo, that is going down as well. So some great teams left, some great football. This weekend is going to be really special. Psych for the Eagles, as I said, Saturday night is the game. I know a lot of people are worried about their plans. Don't worry, make plans to watch the Eagles. A lot of local bands have canceled their gigs. A lot of local events were canceled as well. People are psyched for this. And, you know, the World Series was just around. I spent most of it in the hospital. But, you know, that's how it goes. So, you know, people in Philly get into their sports. And I don't blame it. So I'm very excited for this weekend. Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, both off the injury report today. Lane Johnson certainly is out there practicing, trying his best to get on the field. Certainly need him in there. Big factor. Giants have some aggressive players up front on defense. Their quarterback, Daniel Jones, has been playing some decent football of late, running the ball a lot, pulled off the upset of Minnesota. So they are ready. They're coming here ready. We beat them twice this year, 2-0. There's always that rumor it's hard to beat teams 3 times. We'll see if the Eagles can handle that and take care of business a third time with the Giants. And then they will wait from there the winner of Dallas and San Francisco. Of course, I'm pulling for San Francisco. I'm currently a San Francisco fan. I was a Tampa Bay fan last night. I don't know what the hell happened there, Mr. Tom Brady, but I don't know. Last night looked bad, Tom. Maybe it's time to pack it in. Some people are saying new team. Some people are saying pack it in. I don't know. It already fell. Tampa Bay fired their offensive coordinator today. That, of course, being Byron Leftwich. Leftwich got fired today. So apparently they're putting a lot of this on him. But the offensive line was banged up all year. The running game couldn't get established. Dallas' defense is very aggressive. Good pass rush. They played an all-in-all good game, so you can't really say nothing about that. They advance, so good luck from them. J.D. Wolf, I agree. Please retire, Tom. Last night looked so bad, and I was never a Tom fan, but I wasn't a big hater. We did beat him in the Super Bowl. That's something we hold over him. But last night looked really bad. It looked like he was trying to kill worms. Throwing so many balls, just throwing on the ground. Looks like he was scared and running for his life. And just wasn't there last night, man. There's nothing wrong with going out on top of all their Super Bowls. All you accomplish, go out now. A lot of people are like, oh, I guess he missed his wife. And, you know, whatever. I don't think that's got to do with it. It was sad last night. It was bad to watch. You hate watching those guys go out on a low note. And I remember years back watching Joe Montana with the Chiefs just look really flat in the playoff game. And, you know, you're great. We understand you're great. Pack it in, do walk away. Nobody's going to hate you for it. Same like LeBron James getting hurt all the time and a team that's not going to make the playoffs. Look, it's cool. We know you were there. We know you're at the top. You got your championships. You got your accolades. You got all that. Walk away, man. People are saying, oh, Brady's going to go to Las Vegas and be reunited with Josh McDaniels. They got Devontae Adams and blah, 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 blah. They don't have a defense. They're not a winning team. I don't think Brady's enough to make them winners. So I wouldn't be interested in that. I, for one, made my own rumor he would return to New England. Why not? I'm sure Belichick's sick of losing out there. But again, they don't have anything world class. There's a lot of tough teams out there now, Tom, and it's okay to admit that. Time might have come. It happens. It happens to all of us. Just checking my okay. Just checking up on some stuff, and people hit me up during the show, and a lot of times good stuff. That was Allie, who will be with us tomorrow for Yo 2.0. We have a great guest for that tomorrow night. We'll talk about that later on the program. We'll talk about stuff coming up on the show. And like I said, Drew will be with us in a few minutes. So we have top 5 lists to do as well. Drew Smith is our very special guest. Very excited for that tonight. He's a great singer and songwriter. Got a couple from him. We're going to play The Bottom of It and Damn Babe. Damn Babe might become the new theme song of the Yo Show. So we're like, oh, I always get like these great looking women on. Not tonight. Drew is not a great looking woman. Not a bad looking dude if you like dudes. But yeah, just a lot going on and a lot of great stuff. We're just so excited here to know how we get about Philly stuff and Philly sports. I said the World Series was big here. Uh, just missed out short to those Houston Astros. And now the NFL playoffs are here. My Dallas fans are already chirping, "Oh, look what we did last night." If Mike Evans catches that touchdown with like a minute and a half left, makes it a 10-point game, Tampa still has all 3 timeouts. Yeah, I was playing this scenario. I know it was far-fetched. But Dallas fans were hitting the cash register, cha-ching in that win last night. And I'm like, you know what? And Brady goes and throws that bomb. And Evans, who I had picked for a touchdown win, so it cost me too. He had the ball in his fingertips. Would have walked right in the end zone. It would have been a 10-point game with time left and 3 timeouts. So, you stop in the next drive, get the ball back, maybe score again. Who knows? I just wanted to make it exciting. I want to give Dallas fans a little something to sweat about. I mean, if their kicker Maurer didn't give them enough, missing 4, count them 4 extra points. I'm sure they're holding auditions today for a new kicker. Even Jerry Jones went on Twitter and said, if you can kick a football and you're in the stadium, come on down. Way to give your team confidence. Shady Wolf, no, Tampa wasn't that good. Not good at all. Looked terrible last night. Somebody who never looks terrible, always comes on looking sensationals with us. She is the co-hostess with the mostest, the sister from another mister, bleeding the eagle green. My favorite girl, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jewel Tatey. Jewel, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Woo! Good evening. How are we doing?
Doing great.
I love that.
Right, nice eagle and backdrop tonight. I thought you'd be happy to see that, and I'm
this
eagled
is cool.
out.
Mhm.
Also, you see the new shirt, Eagles Just Hate Us with the Nike swoosh. I love it.
I need that. Where'd
Just
you get
hate
it?
us. Oh, I got it at the Parkwood Boys, and they only come around. And next year we got to remember to take you with us to the Parkwood Boys. They come around the holidays. They do like 4 shows over at the Best Western Hotel in Ben Salem. They get a room and they have like sweatsuits, and they have some nice Jordans. I had my hand on a nice pair of Jordans. They weren't my size. I had to put them back. They were the black on black Jordans. They have T-shirts. They have handbags, coats. You would love it. Cassie goes a lot. She's got me into it. It's great. We'll have to remember next year to get you into that. Just a great event. JD Wolf says good evening. He gave you the extra L. It's because you're so well.
Good evening.
You're swell.
I think that's a
Oh.
store. It's
They
not
might
a
be.
store. It's like a food store somewhere.
I think it is.
Midwest.
But
We'll
yeah,
have to ask our guest tonight.
absolutely. When it comes on Drew Smith around 8:30. Yeah, the Parkwood Boys next year. It's just great stuff and reasonable. Like it's I guess they get it in bulk, so the prices are really nice. Those Jordans, which my buddies like, dude, things retail for $300. We're on sale for like $60.
Oh man.
Oh, it hurts so bad. They didn't have much. The cat's like, try on the next size down. My toe is like popping out. I'm like, nah, as much as I want, it's not gonna happen.
I need a men's size 8. I got some big feet.
Do you really? Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
Let me just set the record straight. I don't know if anybody noticed. I noticed. This is the actual picture of Drew Smith. I apologize to Drew for using a fellow that looked like him and was Drew Smith also. Not the right Drew Smith, but he will be on around 8:30. Drew, first of all, good evening. How you doing? What's good?
I know. I feel like, I don't know. This has been so busy. Even with the day off, I feel like, well, taking that day just messed me all up. But happy to be here tonight. Nice, relaxing weekend. So
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
Happy to have it. That's right. We had Monday off for MLK Day as well, so I forgot an extra day. So let's get to the top 5 list and let's get some tunes on. A lot of fun tonight. Top 5 list in honor of our guest, Drew Smith. Very complex one here. Oh, there it is. Top 5 famous Smiths. Anything Smith. Someone with Smith in the name, etc. I will go first because Jewel loves when I go first. And number 5, it is the music band The Smiths. That's easy.
Down by your side.
Number 4, The Cure's Robert Smith.
You're
Number
going
3.
very punk this list.
Yeah, we started out pretty punk, didn't we? A little bit of that dreary punk. Number 3, one of my all-time loves, the most beautiful women ever on earth. I'll say it a million times over. The lovely Miss Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels. I loved Jacqueline Smith. I still love Jacqueline Smith.
Really thought you were going to say Anna Nicole Smith.
I think now, it's like I didn't want to do her number 3. I want to do her, but not number 3. I want to do her number 2. Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh my god. Why?
Not for nothing. I'm not going. But it turns out her boobs were fake, which surprised me because she was like taller, broader. I would never imagine, but she had fake boobs.
Oh my god. I used to watch her show. Oh, like her wine. I couldn't stand it. It was so bad.
Her wine was that's when she got larger. She used to be very fit.
Yeah, she
and
was on
sexy.
a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. Very, very sad ending.
Mhm.
Why am I echoing? Echo Nicole Smith. And number 1, okay, Will Smith. He's from Philly. Forget about the slap and all that crap. He's a Philly guy. He gets number 1, Will Smith.
Yeah, he is a Philly guy. I guess he can be my number 5 because.
Because he didn't make a list, right?
Well, I was gonna put the Smiths, but I'm just, it'd be cool if I was a fan. I'm just not that big a fan. So yeah, Will Smith. I love Willow Smith. She is definitely on my list. I think she's so freaking cool. She's such a great voice. She's a great little songwriter, and she really proves herself and reinvents herself. And I'm really a fan of hers. Sing it, Marceline. Well, that's Willow Smith.
I guess not.
That's our song. Say hi.
Oh, wait. I'll be right back.
Okay. Number
3.
2?
3?
Oh, I thought I put Will Smith. Oh, okay. 3?
Will Smith, Willow Smith.
Maggie Smith.
Oh,
I feel like Maggie Smith has been the same age, since forever. and
right?
ever.
Dude?
She's
It
a
seems
national
that way.
treasure. Love
Every
that
like
woman.
she was on movies in the '60s, like Maggie Smith, and she was this old lady. Then she's in movies yesterday, it's like Maggie Smith, and she's still this old lady.
Yeah, she's still relatively young for who she is and what role she played. My 3 or 2? 2, right?
I guess it too.
Oh, this is Marceline. That's from a Willow Smith song, which is from the cartoon Adventure Time, which is
Is it
her
Marceline Smith?
her jam. It's Marceline. She's a vampire.
Yeah.
So number 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Smith. I love
Kevin
Kevin Smith. He really just is my type of dude. And
And
I was
Yo
one
for
of
Yo
the
Show
big-
trivia, Kevin Smith was the inspiration behind this idea to sit in front of Funko Pops.
And I love Comic Book Men. I used to watch it all the time. What did it come on? Oh, it was after Walking Dead. But Comic Book Men, and they had the things, and they have the fans come in and do the convention. They really knew their shit. So Comic Book Men, and number 1, a group called Smith. And they did this cover of Baby It's You. It was in my favorite movie, Death Proof. But they rock. Group called Smith.
Clark, is it a group called Smith, or is it just Smith?
A group called Smith.
A group called Smith.
That's the band name.
Very common name. It's such a common name. I found a couple thousand Drew Smiths when I went to Google Drew Smith. And an apology to Core PR as well, because I said, look, you got any press release or anything we can work off? She said, yeah, I sent them, but I forgot I was in the hospital when she sent them. So I got lost in a scuffle of emails. But we have it. We'll rehash the top 5 real quick, starting with mine and the Smiths. Great band. Number 4, The Cure's Robert Smith. That goes out for my sister-in-law, Beth. We're praying here for your father, hoping for good things. Number 3, Jacqueline Smith. The very voluptuous Anna Nicole Smith. And Will Smith. Jewel came back with Will Smith. Willow Smith. The ageless Maggie Smith. Kevin Smith. And a band called Smith. Fun top 5 tonight. All about Smith.
So fun. I actually talked to a Jeffrey Smith today, and
How about
he spelled it your way too.
My way. So he spelled Smith Porrini.
Right. I'm so
I
done.
know.
Such a busy day.
I feel you.
She got 25 calls in 4 hours.
Pretty good. Miss Josephine, before we play some music tonight from our guest, tell the people on YouTube, because we're on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. Tell the people on YouTube and Twitch.
Make sure you hit make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications and hit that like button in the face. But don't forget to scream.
Me.
You ever said mommy in the face? I
No.
wish you would have went for it and hit her screen. Our awesome spokesmodel, Miss Josephine. Don't forget to check out Josephine's World
And we
on
have one,
YouTube as
I only have
well.
one video, but
That's okay. You know,
to watch it, I was like
It-
4.
it only takes one video to make the big time, and it's a great one too.
Yes, it should be.
Her arrogance grows with every program.
I
ladies and
know.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
The
Confidence.
star-studded Miss Joey Tatey in the house. All right, so let's play some music. We'll have Drew Smith around 8:30. Popped a couple acoustic ones because I love it, little live stuff. The bottom of it is this first number we're going to play, and Jewel said, like I said, I love his voice. Great voice. He's got a little Tom Petty look to him, a little nice little country sound. I'm going to play it for you real quick here. The bottom of it, tonight's guest, Drew Smith. Let's load it up. Let's full blast it on the screen. Let's get back to StreamYard and reduce me and Jewel. And we're going to play this song and come back in about 3 minutes here on the Yo Show. Enjoy. You're going to enjoy it. How am I saying? We never play bad music here.
We're dancing around the whole thing. Girl, we've been taking our time. That big blue moon baby ain't gonna hang there all night. I'll pop that bottle of wine. Let's get to the bottom of it. We're both right there on the edge, but nobody's crossing the line. We should be up to our necks. I bet that water feels fine. Dive in the deep end tonight. Let's get to the bottom of it. We ain't gotta call it love, but we can say it's practice. Wearing out the springs on this king-size mattress. Baby, let your hair and your dress drop. I wanna know your body from the tip top to the bottom of it. Just now rounding first base. It's either your move or mine. I love this game that we play, but we both know that it's time. It's already top of the ninth. We're getting to the bottom of it. We ain't gotta call it love, but we can say it's practice. Wearing out the springs on this king-size mattress. Baby, let your hair and your dress drop. I wanna know your body from the tip top to the bottom of it. All these hangovers, sleepovers gotta mean something. We ain't just friends, just drinks. We ain't messing around for nothing. We ain't gotta call it love, but we can say it's practice. Wearing out the springs on this king-size mattress. Baby, let your hair and your dress drop. I wanna know your body from the tip top to the bottom of it. Let's get to the bottom of it. We're getting to the bottom of it.
All right, wearing out the springs on that king-size mattress. Oh, Lord.
Oh my.
Woo-wee. Drew Smith getting to the bottom of it, all right. Wow. Great song, Jewel. Love his voice. And people would say to me, like, I understand you always said you're not really a big country fan, but you have a lot of country music singers on your show. And I got to tell you, because I really love the way they sing. I love the origin of the music. I love the Nashville background, of course. And I just really get into them. And they all got a great story to tell. And they're getting better and better. And they're growing on me more and more. I like, like Susie Corey back in the day, and Presley Tennant, and Drew Smith tonight. And great stuff. Great song.
I know. And I say the same thing about country music, like, because I did grow up in the old stuff like John Denver, Johnny Cash, stuff like that, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton. But new country, I'm really not a fan of like a lot of what's on the radio, but our guests that we have on here have great music, and they're just doing their thing. His voice is so deep and cool, and he just really has great songs. So yeah, I'm a fan of like good country music.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily like top 40 country, poppy. Sometimes that throws me, but I definitely love like bluesy country, bluegrass, all that stuff. So I'm very excited, and I miss Nashville. I need to go back.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, Nashville
So
is so great. And I always talk about it now like I'm this pro. Every time somebody tags Nashville, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been there, great city. Like I'm Mr. Nashville.
I'll tell you all about it.
Let me tell you all about Nashville. Like I said, our good pal, good friend George Powell is now out there playing Broadway and playing with bands. And so far he loves it. I loved it out there. Went for my wife's birthday. I know Jewel's been there before me. And it's such a great place for music and food and entertainment. And I'm like jealous. I'm a little jealous.
You get immersed in it. Like I could definitely live there and just listen to music. I can't play. I can't sing. I would just go listen to music all day long. It'd be a great time.
I agree. And I tell you, for people like us, we'd have to try and find like a city ordinance where we could do the Yo show right in the middle of the street while bands just play behind us. And that would be, man.
Sounds great.
Just amazing. Like George Powell was telling me, like, you got to learn a massive catalog of music, pop music, country music, all that. And you have to learn the catalog to be able to go up and down Broadway and play with these bands, which blew my mind. But he said, look, you have to be sharp. There's no putzing around it. You got to be there. You got to be ready. You got to know the music, and not just one song or 10 songs or improvise. You have to know thousands of songs down to the T. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And Broadway is no joke. It is a ton of incredible talent. So you really have to have the chops, and that fact is just crazy. And I'm excited to ask Drew all about that as well.
Absolutely. Speaking of great talent and Nashville and great singers, musicians, our special guest, we just heard one of his songs a few minutes ago, the bottom of it. And now we're going to talk about all kind of great stuff. Let's give it up for Mr. Drew Smith. Drew, good evening.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hello.
Holy Moses, dude, that voice, you're like radio country. Hey, guys, and I'm like blown away. I get this high-pitched squeaky voice, and your voice is perfection, man. It's outstanding.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm charging to be here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're excited to have you, and your great PR group from CORE. We had Presley Tennant on a few weeks back, and they actually came out to us and said, look, you guys did such a great job with her. And she said how great it was. Can we bring on more talent? Absolutely. Here, we love guys like you and great musicians working hard at it. And I kind of goofed. In the beginning, I had the wrong Drew Smith, and I'm like, interesting. And then I caught on to it. I'm like, man, this guy's even 100 times better than I anticipated. So thank you.
Hey, thanks, man. I heard about that, and but you know what? There's a ton of us, so it's really, really easy to find the wrong Drew Smith. I think there's a pro baseball player, and there's tons of artists named Drew Smith. So it's a problem.
I'm sure. My neighbor's Drew Smith. I went to his house. No.
We appreciate you being cool about it, though. So
yeah, appreciate it. I mean, and now that
absolutely.
you're on, we always say once somebody comes on their family, so next time just call my cell phone, like, yo, dude, you did it again, and yell at me. It's fine. So congratulations on what has been a pretty successful music career so far. Songwriting, producing, engineering, writing, all that. Talk to us about how you got started, though. Where was your break, and what made you say, hey, this is my career? Besides the great voice. I mean, I'd be singing every day if that was my voice.
Oh no, because you'd have people around you that would say, "Are you ever going to shut up?"
That's
And,
true.
you
They
know,
do that
so
now. So
that's what I get. So, um, no, man, so I came from a pretty musically influential family on my mother's side. My father's side, they can't play a lick, but my mother's side, they all played and sang, and so I grew up, watching that. And I felt like some of that came natural. I felt like it was kind of split 50-50 with the genes, because there's so much of it that I've had to work on and continue to work on all the time. But when I was about 10, I bought my first electric guitar and really got into, I got really serious about playing. And then around 12 or so, I started getting more serious I started trying to write songs. They were terrible, and they've not improved much since. But it's fun, and I love it. And I've been really blessed. I signed my first songwriting deal. It was my first publishing deal in 2010. So I've been at it for a long time.
congratulations. Obviously, at 12 years old, you can't sing about, wearing out the springs on the king size mattress.
Definitely not. No, unless you're talking about playing Superman or something. Hey, thank you for playing that, by the way. I appreciate that.
We love it. Great song. We love, getting to the music of the guests that come on. We're going to play Damn Babe after we have you on. We like to do one before, one after. So we look forward to that. And the audience loves it, whether they watch live or recorded. They just love getting into and learning new music. Joel, go ahead. I'm talking everybody's ear off here.
Oh no, and Lawrenceburg, that's where you're from. How far is that from Nashville?
So it's about an hour and a half south and to the west a little bit. It's kind of between Nashville and Muscle Shoals, Alabama. If you guys have seen the documentary, there's a great music documentary about Muscle Shoals. It's online. So growing up between two music meccas, I was kind of bound to play or sing something.
And would you go into town often? Is that where like the family would go on outings, or what? Did that?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's really how I got familiar with Nashville. Was my parents? We would come up here maybe once a month or so. Again, it's only about an hour and a half drive, but maybe once a month, once every couple of months, we'd come to Nashville and just kind of mill around as a family. And I loved it then. And there's a pretty large Amish community where I grew up. It's a random place for an Amish community, just in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. So to see, the things that I got to see in the city was always fascinating to me. And to see it grow after all these years, the way that it has. I don't know if you guys have been to Nashville, but it's shocking how much it's grown. It's really crazy.
It's incredible. And then we went for my wife's birthday this past September. She's like, I don't know how you managed to walk all over, because my health was a little shoddy, but I walked all over and just had a blast. Like I said, the food, the music, it's everywhere. Every place is great on Broadway. And we have a friend of ours who went out. He was in a local band. He went out there to play Broadway, and he's going to be drumming on Broadway with all the great bands. And it's just amazing how it's such a music community, which also is a question I had for a little bit later, but I'm going to get to it now, because you also say you spent a lot of time in New York. Can you compare the two at all? What are the differences between Nashville music, New York music?
No, it's two different worlds. I love New York. So my partner and her daughter are up there, and that's what brings me to New York and Connecticut so often. But I love it up there, but it's it's just two totally different worlds. Aside from music, it's so big there. It's wild. When you live in, to grow up around Nashville and to watch it grow, I still feel like it's a big city, small town.
Right.
But then, when you go somewhere like New York, you go, man, Nashville is nothing. It's just a dot on the map. But it's fun. Being there full time would be difficult. I think I'd have just the ultimate anxiety attack and just die if I were there all day, every day.
I feel
But
it. We're right
it's
we're right outside of Philadelphia, so I feel that.
yeah.
Yeah. But like,
So you guys get it. It's wild
Yeah.
up there, man.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it.
it really is. And I went to New York like last month. I'm like, I don't know how people live here, but going to Nashville is like, it's so cool. Like, especially for people like us who are such music lovers, like to be immersed in it. And yeah, it's small, but you're getting hit with all the good stuff. But I wanted to talk a little bit. You had to start in radio. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I worked in radio for a little bit, but that was
Did you?
short-lived. So
Yeah.
your experience.
It's a fun job, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It is. It's so much fun. I started off. I got my first radio gig when I was 14, which is weird. But when you
Wow.
come from a very small town like that, those kinds of things can happen. And I started off as a board operator, and then they started letting me read the weather and then read the local news, and then eventually I got my own shift after a while. But I was in radio for probably 4 years or so, something like that, and ended up working in Radio Muscle Shoals as well. But it was just it was a perfect scenario for me because I could just listen to music all day, and it was great. So that was really what part of the draw to that. I don't think it would have been the same if I worked at a movie theater or something. I
Yeah.
wasn't as interested in that. I just wanted to listen to records all day. And so that job allowed me to do that. And you get all the new stuff before anybody else gets to hear it. That's a cool perk, and
Did
you've
you
got
have
this massive library.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Did you have any
What was-
control over like what was being played though? Because I worked at a Philly radio station, and that was just like very stringent.
At that time I did, yeah. And the town was so small and the radio station was so small. I mean, you could we had a playlist, that we could follow, but it was more of a guide. There were the top 40 stuff. We had to stick with that. Outside of that, though, if it was, I remember we had these diagrams. It was like a pie chart, and so it would have new release, recurrent, gold. So something from like 10 plus years ago, another recurrent from the last 5 years, new song again. So it had it all mapped out. And as other than the brand new songs, the top 40 stuff that was on the playlist, anything else on there, if you got around that era of time, then that was really all they cared about. So something from if you wanted to do a recurrent gold, that was if something was on the list that's 20 years old and you hate that song, then find something else that's 20 years old and replace it. You can't get away with that these days. They don't let you do that now. Like you said, Jewel, it's by the book, and what's on the playlist is what gets played, and nothing more and nothing less.
Wow.
It's fun to have that freedom though.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. I loved it.
So we always ask artists about who their inspiration was, who they're listening to. So being in a record station and radio station, being able to hear all these different artists, who are some of your favorites, and who are the ones you're like, man, I could do that. I could be on there.
Oh, I never felt that way. I really didn't, because it was just it's such a long shot to be able to get an actual job in this industry. And it was even back then as well. So I knew I wanted to do it, but I'm not sure that there was ever a point that it was like, oh yeah, no, I can totally do this. And Jewel, who have you got with you?
Sorry, she's asking for homework help. That's my daughter.
Oh, well, I hope she's not wanting it from me.
Yeah.
Because
She also does
a
a little part-time spokesmodel bit on our show where she tells the YouTube people to like and subscribe. So she
I
comes in.
love it. I love it. We'll talk more about her in a second. Jeff, to answer your question, man, it was great because I grew up on so many different things, like from Jackson Browne and John Prine and the Eagles to Merle Haggard and Don Williams and Dolly Parton and then Guns N' Roses. My parents had the Guns N' Roses record. They had it on vinyl. as
Wow,
well as
that's
cassette
yeah.
tape and then got the CDs. But so I grew up on a little bit of everything, and working in radio at this particular radio station I was working at was really great because our FM station was an adult contemporary station that played a lot of classic rock stuff as well. And then our AM station was a country station. And I was working both stations. And so I got the best of both worlds. So really, it was like, if it would have been a jazz station or something, I'd have had to quit. But but because it was country and adult contemporary, man, I was just, I mean, man, I had a heyday with it. It was great.
Sure, it's great. You mentioned Merle Haggard, and of course, him alongside a lot of the other great names, uh, Lee Brice, Big and Rich, Lady A, bands you've opened for, shared the stage with. What kind of experience is that? How exciting is it to be with legends on stage, especially ones you looked up to?
Man, it's really cool. I mean, two of my favorite artists that I got to open for, on a couple of occasions, and even more, was Merle Haggard and Don Williams. Don Williams, I was on the road with him for about 6 months doing all of his openers.
Awesome.
And the best part, and I've said this 100 times, the best part of that tour was me finishing my set and running around running out the back door of the theater or auditorium, wherever we were playing, running around the venue to the front, getting in, and then trying to find a seat in the
Wow.
back so I could watch the show. And I did
Sure.
it every night. There was not a single night in 6 months' time. And we'd do, 4 or 5 shows a week. I mean, he worked really, really hard. And there was not a single time when I ever finished with my set and didn't sit down and watch the show after. And so that was, to me, those were the most fun parts about it, was getting to watch my idols.
It's awesome.
And how did you get into like the engineering side? Because engineered, wrote a lot of songs. How did that come about? Did the radio station have any influence on maybe just being in the recording studio or being around different kinds of equipment and learning that way?
Yeah, that's an awesome question, Jewel, because it did. It's like, since you've been in radio, and Jeff, you now know, with having to, I'm sure you've got a mixer there that you're working with to keep everybody's levels right and
It's
all
low
of that
stage,
stuff.
but
Yeah. So I think, Jewel, what happened was it got me, in the habit of, I got real tactile. Because as a DJ, you're moving faders and pushing buttons and that sort of thing, and I've loved that. It's a silly thing to love, but I loved that, and so I do think that it influenced me getting into sound engineering post radio gig. So when I had a couple of little recorders when I was a teenager. And then I got another like digital recorder in my early 20s that my dad helped me get. And I would mess around on those. But then when I signed my first deal, I was in that for maybe a few months, and I thought, well, I want to make better sounding recordings of these songs. And I was writing 5 days a week, sometimes twice a day, because these publishing companies, they'll book you with all these other songwriters. So you're writing a lot of songs. And I thought, and at the time, it was 12 years ago, so almost 13 years ago now. So at the time, you couldn't record anything on your phone. That wasn't around yet. So we had these, little digital recorders, the little Zoom recorders that everybody would take around.
yeah.
Some of the old school cats still had cassette players that they'd drag in the room with them. And but I thought, yeah, I want to make better recordings of these songs. Other than just having it on this little, shoddy Zoom recorder. And so I bought Pro Tools and set that up and got a decent mic and some headphones. And that was how it all started. And from there, I had friends that would hear, these little work tapes that I was doing, or these little demos. And they said, man, my band wants to record some songs. You think you could record us? And Oh yeah, let's do it. I had no idea what I was doing, but enough of that, and I started learning, and then I got to be in the room with actual engineers, guys that had went to school to do that. They were really great at that job, and these guys would let me stand over their shoulder and watch and learn, and I really had great opportunities. So that was how I got into that.
That's awesome. And the accolades, of course, the RIAA awards, and you're getting accolades for songs that you're writing, and great artists like John Schneider singing. Tell us about the thrill of getting accolades. Some people say I'm not really in it for that, but it's nice to be recognized. How big of an accomplishment is it to get these kind of awards?
No, I'm in it for the money.
Makes sense. Call me crazy. That makes sense.
It's really great, man. It's a special thing. It's a really, really special thing. Something like, and there's a lot of, small victories. Something like gold record. Hi, Jen. Thanks. Well, I don't know why I'm saying things. It's not my show.
That's
Jeff
it.
and Jules show.
You're part of You're making it happen tonight, right?
But they
Tonight is
appreciate
all
your support. Yeah, stuff like a gold record, that's great. Those are some of the bigger victories. But then things like John Schneider, who, if our friends at home don't recognize him by his real name, you would know him as Bo Duke.
Yep.
From the Dukes of Hazzard.
That's everybody knows him, really.
So I grew up watching that, and it's a weird thing to have Bo Duke singing your song.
Right.
It's crazy, but it's super cool. It does, it doesn't pay much, but it doesn't matter, because Bo Duke singing my song, man, that's pretty cool. So
that's awesome.
If you can find a way to stay alive, and I haven't really done that yet, but if you're lucky enough to find a way to stay alive, it's little stuff like that that's really, really cool, that I think that probably on your deathbed, you're not going to think about the money, but you're going to think about Bo Duke or Merle Haggard singing your song.
Yeah, you get that little pile of kids or grandkids or whatever it is, and they say, tell us some stories. I don't think they're worried about the amount of the first check, just the names that you have done it with back then is super cool. And we do it here. Like, I've had 80s and 90s like actresses and actors that have come on the show, people I've watched all the time. It's just great for them to say, hey, thanks for inviting me. Had a great time. And so I understand that completely. I feel that 100%.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool thing. And I was looking at your channel earlier. You guys do have a lot of actors and actresses that are on the show. I love that you combine those with artists, because we're pretty weird cats.
They are too. Trust me.
I would suggest that you never combine the two in the same night, though, because who knows what'll happen then.
I think we have, didn't we?
Yeah, we did once, and
that was a lot.
And you understand the ego thing of, it's my night, like I want to be front, and then they say, well, I don't want to go second. You're like, oh my God, we really stepped in here. That's why we keep it to one a night. But I mean,
one a night.
And we go back to the comment where she said, love the show. And he says, not your show. And on this night, it is your show. We are all about the artist that comes on. We're not worried about like people get involved in politics and scandal and all that. Not worried about that, man. I want to know what makes you tick, and hearing about your background and your story, playing the song, because that's where the fun is. I don't care what anybody says out there. Like you said, it may not be about the money. The fun is in learning what drives a guy like you, because like I said, the voice is great, the music is great. We'd like to know the stories behind that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I don't know, Jeff. I'm kind of worried about getting robbed. There's a few different studios in this building. There's a ton of musicians here tonight, and so I'm kind of worried about getting robbed. It could happen any minute. If it does, at least we'll have it on camera.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see fingers going behind your head. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. So you guys keep an eye on that window back there. That goes into one of the other studios back there. So if you see anybody sneaking up on me, let me know.
You got it. Well, that would be a first.
Any other famous musicians who play the
That's right. Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm worried about them walking by and like, that's the Yo Show. They wouldn't even have me on. Come running in and screaming at us.
That's right. Yeah, man. He makes some enemies tonight.
Oh, man. That's
Speaking of videos and fun, you do a little TikTok. You have I saw a songwriting contest, and then your most influential albums. How do you feel about TikTok and just social media today, along with promoting music? Do you find it's too much? Do you find it's overkill? Or it seems like you have fun with it. So what's your take?
You know what? I've only recently started having fun with it, if I'm being honest. But with a PR team, Core, and my digital team that's also tied with the same company. I've got a great digital guy over there that has really been hugely helpful because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to social media. And
dry. I feel you.
but I recognize that's the climate now. Like that's where it's at. And it doesn't matter if you're a musician or if you're an author or if you make custom belt buckles, anything like that. It's I mean, so many hairstylists, you see them on there all the time. And hello, Cassie.
That's my wife.
What hello, Cass. You can just knock on the door there and say hi to him if you want to. Just barge on in.
Come right down the steps.
Yeah, Cassie, come on in here.
He's done it before.
But yeah, so it doesn't matter what you're doing now. That's the thing. That's you have to do social media if you want anyone to know what you're doing. Then you've got to get on board with that. And I've had such a hard time with it. For me, I have had a hard time, and I told my digital team this and my publicist when I started working with them. I said, look, here's my thing. I have a hard time drawing a line from being a content creator and constantly having to try to think about what content is relevant or how to make it or how to video it or to be my own photographer or hashtags and algorithms. And it's this, like, it sounds like a really simple thing. You open your phone and you open the app and you post something, but the reality of it is that you are all those things. You're the photographer, the videographer, you do the editing, all of that stuff. You're the one that comes up with the ideas. And it can honestly be an all day, everyday job if you allow it to be. And some people do, and they end up wildly successful. Part of my problem is that so much of what I do, I feel like no one else is going to find it interesting. And so I would always, I would miss a lot of opportunities in the past. Yesterday is a good example of how I'm learning and I'm really starting to get better at the social media stuff. I was in here mixing a new song that's going to be coming out later on this year, probably in the spring sometime. And I wanted to do this vocal effect, and I think this is on, it's on my Instagram, and I think it's on Facebook as well, maybe. But this one particular section of the song, I wanted to do this vocal effect. And instead of trying to emulate it digitally, using a plug-in or, a fancy effect, I isolated the vocal and I ran it into a guitar amp, and I put a mic up to that guitar amp, and then I just cranked it up, and it just made my voice sound just terrible, but it was exactly what I was going for. And so I was like, well, I'm going to video this because if it works, I'll be able to post it. I think even if it wouldn't have worked, I would have still posted it and said, here's the crazy stuff you do in the studio is you try anything to get the sound that you're going for. So I say all that to say this. In the past, probably 2 months ago, I would have never set up my phone and videoed that. And I certainly wouldn't have went home after being in the studio for 8 hours, however long I was here yesterday, and sat down and edited all of that to be able to post it today. Now I understand the importance of that. I still don't understand algorithms and hashtags and how all that works, but I think what's important is that I'm creating content and I'm putting it out, and I'm definitely seeing results from it. That's about all I know about it.
Yeah, pretty much same here. We'll get episodes where thousands of people will watch. They come on live, they'll watch the recording, and everybody's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, just got a great guest, talked, we're decent looking people. We're a little quirky and people watch. Can I tell you how we do it? Not really. We just kind of do it. And that's half but Liz, it's half the battle. And a lot of it is how you present the show, advertise. We do a show on Wednesday nights, and my co-host there has a friend who's all into the algorithms and how to time it and plan it out. More power to them. I still don't know to this day. I just look for great guests, people that come on with a classy attitude, and knock on wood, 227 episodes later, we've nailed it. We've been great with that. Everybody that comes on has a great story to tell. You included, you've been terrific. You even wrote a book, and I love this because you're doing the engineering and all of that and writing. And the book is called The Before You Record Course. Give us a little taste of advice for the young songwriter that's never gotten into the studio, that's going to head to the studio. What would you tell a guy like me who's never sang a day in his life in the studio? I'm going in. What would you tell somebody? How do you get them prepped?
Man, there's so much to prepare for, and there's
Sure.
so many things that are really easy to forget to prepare for. And so what had happened was I'd started producing other artists and other bands, and what I found was that every single project that I was doing, I would have to either text them or email these lists for, like, a few weeks leading up to going into the studio, and I'd say, hey, on Monday I need this and this. And then I need you to put, by Thursday, I need this in a Dropbox, and I'm going to need this on a hard drive, and I need you to get your lyric sheets together, and they needed to be formatted like this. And it was just all of these, lists. And I finally, one day I was like, this is stupid, because I do this every time. There's no telling how much time I spend doing this every year, that I could just make a PDF file or something and just put everything on there. And so that idea sat around for a few years. Yeah, that idea sat around for a few years. And then when COVID happened, I ended up just making this entire video course on everything that you need to know before you go into the studio. Correct. It doesn't leave anything out. And it's, there's just a ton of valuable resources in that course. There's things that I've learned from being in the studio thousands of times, literally thousands of times. And it's, again, I didn't leave anything out. It's not one of those things where you go and you buy the course and at the end of it, and I say, and if you'd like to know more, for, $29.99, you can get the complete, like, it's none of that. You get everything. And I decided when I did it that I was not going to, take advantage of people that way. Like, you really get the whole thing. Because I don't want to. It's a horrible scenario when you walk into a studio unprepared, and
it costs money. A lot of
costs
money.
So much money.
Yeah, sure.
So much money, and it's not just. It's not one of those things, like, there's this massive ripple effect that happens. If anything goes sideways in the studio, it's not like, well, we had to pay for an extra hour. Well, that's not how it works. If anything gets sideways in the studio, you're talking about maybe another day.
Wow.
Like adding another full day. And all these places have day rates, and the engineer has a day rate, and you're looking at $1,000 more than what you had budgeted for. And it's really easy for that to happen. And so, I figured if I could prevent that from happening to anybody, that's what I wanted to do.
That's amazing and a great, the modern era for that kind of resource. And you've been there and you paid your dues, and now you're passing it on to people, which is incredible to be able to, like you said, there's no catch at the end. You pick it up, you watch it, or you read it, and you learn, say, all right, now I'm ready. And that's great to have. I'm sure page 1 says, bring your checkbook. And learn your surroundings. Sure. People are walking around the window behind you and know where you're at.
That's right.
Don't give up.
Right.
Lock up your valuables.
Yeah, always turn around, lock up your eyes. But that, bro, that shows a great deal of dedication and class and smarts, because here you are trying to make your own music and your own success, but more than willing to lend a hand and say, hey, here's how you do it. Climb aboard. Let's do it together. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was fun putting that together. And again, it was, right at the beginning of COVID. And so I'd planned on doing it in my studio and making it look really sharp. But, no one was allowed to leave their house. So I
Yeah.
ended up, doing it in my apartment, but I was still pretty happy with the results of it, and again, if it helps anybody, I feel fulfilled.
Excellent.
What do you think? And you don't have to give away your big secret, but what do you think is the most likely thing that an artist forgets when they come into a studio for the first time?
You know what, Jill? I would say it's not so much what they forget; it's what they, it's not being prepared for the environment. That's the biggest thing. To walk in to the studio for the first time, even the second time, the third time, sometimes the fourth time, everything's happening really quickly around you. And I mean, you wouldn't believe the pace of things. And it's not because people are flying through stuff and just going, well, that's good enough. You can fix that later. It's not like that. It's that you're surrounded by professionals that do this all day, every day. This is what they do. And so, and they're great at it and they're quick at it. And there's so many things going on, and you're trying to take all this stuff in, and it ends up just getting jumbled. And you'll spend a day in the studio and you get home and you go, I don't even know what happened today. It was so much information that it was an overload, and it's hard to even enjoy it. But it's certainly easy to get flustered in those scenarios. And if you're not used to singing, in headphones, that's a very isolating thing. It's totally different than singing in the shower. It's totally different than singing on stage. It's just a different thing. And that's why for years we've all heard artists talk about how they hate the sound of their own voice. Like, great artists
Yeah.
don't like listening to their recorded voices. And it's because there's something about that sterile, isolated environment when you're recording vocals for a song that it changes everything. It feels, because our lives are, filled with ambience, whether we're outside or inside. If you walk through the kitchen, and you clap your hands, it echoes. It's only if you go like in your closet or something that it's dead. Have you ever felt weird in in a walk-in closet?
Yes.
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 It's because those, all those sensors aren't firing, like little things that you don't even consciously hear, but they just happen around you all day, every day. Your feet moving across the floor, whatever, scooting around in your chair, your stomach growling, whatever. And in a closet, it's so dead in there because you got all your clothes hanging up. So people get freaked out in closets because of that. But that's what it is that it's dead and you're not getting all those things, but your brain can't compute that.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing to go into the studio. I've done this thousands of times. I cut vocals earlier this afternoon and I hated it.
Wow.
It can feel weird for different reasons. You are right.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff goes down in closets sometimes. You gotta watch out when you're in the closet.
And I was never a pro, but I took drum lessons for a while. And when you first get on there and you think you're going to make a boom, boom sound, and then the instructor's like, no, it's actually a slide and come back, and your sticks are supposed to meet. I'm like, huh? Then you're doing the earphones on. I'm like, I'm not feeling this at all. It does not make any sense.
Yeah.
You're used to just wailing your hands. He's like, this is time. This is time. The way your foot moves, everything was timed. And you're like, thinking to myself, I'm never going to get the hang of this. Still haven't gotten the hang of it.
I've always felt that way about drummers in the studio. I think those guys probably have it the worst, for sure, because you go from, even in a small room, you're still getting, all those reflections.
Yeah.
You put on headphones, man, those reflections are gone. And I'm sure it's got to be like you're playing with like pillows.
Kind of, yeah. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah. So I think drummers probably have it the worst, for sure.
That's why I'll never cut it. So you mentioned new music. What's next? How soon can we expect new music? Because we'd love to invite you back when new stuff comes on. This has been a blast. We've blown past the regular half-hour spot, but when can we expect new stuff? And I'm sure you said you write every day. You got tons of ideas.
Yeah, I wrote one last night that I'm really excited about. It'll be out later this spring, but I got 3 songs coming out February 7th. Those will be ready for pre-save and pre-order on January 25th, which is just right around the corner. But February 7th, look for a few new songs, and then have an EP coming out in March, which will include those few songs and some others. So and a lot of music coming out this year, a whole lot. We're putting out 24 songs this year.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
That's amazing. And when the
Yeah.
tour hits the streets, don't forget, right outside of Philly, PA, we can get you some nice, safe, peaceful locations around Philadelphia. It's not quite in the city, but I
I'd
wish
love to
nothing
come
was
hang out with
that.
you.
That'd be great. We would love that. We'd love our artists to come on, and you're so talented and intellectual about the music business. You're not coming on just being like, yeah, I'm going to make it. Yeah, I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. You know the tools it takes to be great. Your sound is great. We had an absolute blast. Like I said, if we could do this for a couple more hours, we'd probably keep you here. But and we stick to our half-hour dedication. Let's remind everybody, February 7th, there's new music coming out. I'm going to show you where to find it. You can find Drew Smith on Instagram at Drew Smith Live. By the way, for guys not keen on social media, did a great job of making yourself stick out, but live at the end, you became easier to find. Drew Smith Live on Facebook as well, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you download new music. Check out Drew Smith. Watch it on YouTube, www.drewsmithlive.com, and Twitch for some live streams. Twitch TV, Drew Smith Live, watch him perform like we did tonight on the Unplugged thing, which was amazing. And dude, I can't thank you enough. This has been phenomenal. And again, like I said, we'll get in touch with Cord. We'll bring you back in a few months.
Thank
after
you
this new
guys.
stuff comes out. Now, this is great. Your sound was perfect. Everything was perfect. This is like one of the, sorry for all the other guests, one of the best nights ever. This was just dead on perfect. Your sound was perfect. Your delivery was perfect. We can't thank you enough.
Hey, same here. Thank you guys. Jewel, good luck with homework.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Jeff, go Eagles. Thank
I
you guys.
love it.
Go
Thank
Eagles.
you guys against it. By the way, quick story, man. I
ahead.
used to play Titans games quite
Oh,
a bit,
wow.
and I would do this pre-party for Tennessee Titans and Philadelphia. I've told lots of people this. The Philadelphia Eagles fans are always the best to have in town. They love live music and they
Alright.
love country music, and they're really, really excellent. And met a lot of great people doing that. So
You hear that,
because of
Dallas
that,
fans?
Did you see Jeff's shirt? Jeff, did he see your shirt? What it says?
It says, Eagles just hate us. For like the
It's kind of our motto, but we appreciate it. I can't believe, well, the first time I had no idea but how close the Titan Stadium was to Broadway, like walking
Oh,
distance
it's just
from
right
home.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Predators and all. That's really cool. It's such a great town. And like I said, if you don't come out to perform this way, my wife, Jewel, friends are already talking about making our way out that way. Little social media touch bases. We got friends out there playing. Would love to run into you and watch you perform live. And this has been great, man. I'm a big fan now. Your music is already on my library here. As I do, I
Thank
get
you,
right
man.
to it. Absolutely. Have a great
Thanks
night.
so much, guys.
So
All
we'll
right, you
talk
do
to
the
Drew
same.
Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. You too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. Joe, I got to tell you, and I say it a lot, and I always mean it. We get great guests, but tonight was perfect. He's in his studio. The mic sound is perfect, and everything comes off great, and his word is great, and he's teaching and performing great music. Huge fan. Absolutely blown away tonight. Like I said, we've always been lucky, knock on wood, 220 some episodes strong of great guests. This is one of the best. Sorry,
know.
everybody out there. One of the
I
best.
mean, the voice. I could just listen to that voice.
Mhm.
Let's just do the whole episode. But no, great songs and like you said, really knows his stuff. So continued success to Drew, and yeah, it's been a great night. It went so fast. I feel like this day is flying by.
It sure did. And our good friend James Cox over at When Words Fail, Music Speaks, another great music podcast. If you're out there, check him out and find him on a lot of the great podcasting spots. And I tell you, dude, Let me get you in touch with this guy and the team at Core PR because they have great people, and I know you're big music fans out there, and we're lucky enough to get some great ones here. We'll share them, send them your way. If you want, just drop me a message. We'll be glad to get together and help you out with that because you guys do a great job as well. Music is so important. Your message alone, the name of the show, exactly, words fail, music speaks. Music is strong, man. That's why when people say, yeah, I have actors, actors, authors, we do, but we do love our musicians as well. It's always great to discover new music, hear their stories, and learn a lot of stuff too. Him and Jewel really just got along with the same stories about working in radio stations, and you realize all the stories that connect via music.
I know. And that was my dream job when he's talking about being tactile and like really getting in there and Pro Tools and everything. I wanted to do that so bad. But when I worked at the radio station, I was like, look, I just want to be a sound engineer. Like, how can I make this happen? And they took me to the guy who had that job. He was an 80-year-old man and he made like $8 an hour and he was not leaving that job. And I'm like, I cannot make $8 an hour. So let's find a different way. But if you're surrounded by music and artists and really have the time and the tools to learn and all that goes with it, and you build and you're just in that environment and building, of course, it's a dream job. I would love to do that.
We had a couple months back, we had Sandra Taylor on who spent time at the local station 93.3 WMMR and just talk about the great things, like you said, like the library of music and being able to talk to and meet and bump elbows with people in the music business. Now she works for Alice Cooper, which is as cool as it gets, you know.
Right.
I actually spoke to her briefly tonight. I'm like, you know, you came on, you told us you had this great job lined up. What's going on? He said, I actually work for Alice Cooper. So the time spent in the music business and getting to love music.
And she's like 22. Like, what?
Something like that. She is Jewel Tady's sister separated from birth. You know, the more I look at the I think the more I look at it, is the Toys look so much alike. If I could get away being like her stunt double.
It kind of freaked me out because I, obviously wasn't on that night. I looked, I'm like, whoa.
It got me too because they say it was the night that Jewel was out, and when Sandra comes on and I put it up here, like Sydney. I'm sorry, Sandra. Why did I get say? Oh, that's the other Sydney. I always I get so excited, but I did that and like I brought her on. I'm like, huh? It felt like business as usual, but.
Right.
She's doing big things. We're happy for her. And like I said, tonight with Drew Smith, just a great voice, great music. And we'll be right back into this commercial message. It's awesome. So let's play another song. This one's cool. I love this song. I like its message. I wanted to ask him what it meant, but I'll just leave my imagination. It's called Damn Babe. It's almost like he's telling this girl, yeah, you got it, baby. Like the cat's meow. So we're going to line it up and share it. It's a great number. I love it. I can listen to this guy sing all night, I swear to God. And, when I talk about country music, this guy's going to definitely put me into it. So tonight's guest, Drew Smith, a second song, Damn Babe, right here live on the air. Sure, another unplugged one, too. I love this. Be back in 3 minutes. Enjoy. Make sure the volume's up. It is. We'll be right back.
Damn, babe, where'd you learn to go and walk out that way? Left me like a cigarette in an ashtray, still burning, still working to crush that flame. Damn, babe, you've never been the kind to do things halfway, but I guess I thought when you ripped off that Band-Aid, you'd go easy on me like you'd done before, but not anymore. All the neon nights, all the second chances, you had to say goodbye for me to understand it. I'm an old cliche, a man who finally changed, and the worst part is you don't even give a damn, babe. Thought down the road you'd be taking on my last name. Just a couple of dudes hanging out in a nice frame. in the hallway you used to run down instead of running out. All the neon nights, all the second chances, you had to say goodbye for me to understand it. I'm an old cliche, a man who finally changed, and the worst part is you don't even give a damn, babe. What I wouldn't give to taste your lips, feel your skin again instead of living with. I'm a neon nights, I'm a second chances. You had to say goodbye for me to understand it. I'm a no cliche, a man who finally changed. And the worst part is you don't even give a damn, babe. You don't even give a damn, babe. Damn, babe.
Give me a chance to do his own little fade there at the end. I kind of like that. Tonight's guest, Drew Smith. Damn, babe. One terrific song. Again, we're going to scroll down the bottom. You can find Drew Smith on Instagram, Drew Smith Live. We'll give you links to all his other places to find him. Facebook at Drew Smith Live, Apple Music, Spotify, and more by searching Drew Smith. You can watch him on YouTube and www.drewsmithlive.com for all the latest updates on brand new music. Drew, I got and Twitch TV, don't forget live performances, Drew Smith Live on Twitch TV. I got so excited about talking about everything else, I forgot to announce 3 new songs coming February 7th. I suck at my job. I absolutely suck.
February 7th.
February 7th, brand new stuff. And of course, we're going to let the scroll roll down the bottom a little bit so you know where to find them. A lot of news to catch up with Jewel. As you know, a couple of stories that we wanted to hit earlier. And again, we line up a lot of stuff. People say, why do you give 2 hours? Seems long. Because we do so much, and there's so much to talk about, so much to do. And of course, whenever I can find them here, what the hell I just did to myself here? Oh, there we go. Of course, a very sad and heartfelt rest in peace to Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley. Certainly a difficult story here. Really, the well-known surviving member of Elvis's family. There's other daughters who are going to share Graceland, apparently, and split that up. But a very sad and kind of surprising passing away. She's just kind of started getting back in the public eye, making music. Of course, everybody remembers the Michael Jackson thing and all that, but sad here. Very, very tough, sad story.
Are you saying there's other daughters?
I think, unless she had, no, I think it's her daughters, I believe, correct?
Her daughter is
right. Her daughter,
Riley. That's
right.
The grandchild of Elvis,
Right.
but she's like blowing up. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
all these movies. She's a really, really talented freaking actress. Like, I love her. I love her in everything. I don't know if you ever saw The Lodge, but that was like one of the scariest movies I've seen in the past 5 years. Like, Riley Keough. Holy crap. She's amazing. And poor Priscilla, man. It's just tragic. She's so young and just had the Golden Globes on Tuesday. And Austin winning for Elvis, because I love that movie. It was so good. And what I loved is Priscilla and Lisa and Riley were all behind it, and they really loved Austin and just supported him all the way through. And then he ended up winning. It was a big victory. And then this, like, it's so horrible. I always liked her. I always thought she was cool. It's actually like my cousin's aunt. She's like, you always remind me of like Lisa Marie Presley. And I always took that as such a compliment. I'm like, yeah, she is so cool. I love her. But Yeah, so sad. And
She was like, it's funny because people, like a lot of people, call her like the original like boss bitch. Like she's badass,
Mhm.
and you know, and she was beautiful, and she was cool, and like I said, like the Elvis movie was great. I loved it, and it was you went in thinking you're going to see this great success story of Elvis, and the end
yeah,
was so sad.
so sad.
Oh,
Like
the ending
really
like
sad.
ripped me apart on every level. Now, no, I wasn't a fan of the Colonel, but even still, you kind of felt bad for him, and you really feel bad for Elvis at the end. And here he
Ugh,
is, and you felt you get movies to see autobiographies like, oh well, this is kind of what happened. At the end, you felt the pain, like you felt
mm,
like Elvis, like you felt the weight of him collapsing right on your own chest. I'm like, this guy shouldn't even be singing, and it's a movie. I'm like, he shouldn't be singing.
I
He should be
know.
done. He should pack it in, retire, get healthy, something. Like you felt it through the movie.
It's so powerful and sad when you see people's last performances.
Yeah.
Like Kurt Cobain's, Elvis, like it's automatic chills and shudders and just overwhelming. Like it's insane. We get to see their last ever performances, but
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because um not really relatable, but kind of the same thing. I was a massive Alice in Chains fan, and now watching the Unplugged and knowing
mm,
that Lane had the gloves on because he was injecting his fingers,
ugh,
uh, and just knowing that's why he had gloves on to hide that, and knowing how just a short time later he'd be isolated in a hotel. The only visit he would get would be from his drug dealers and died soon after. You're like, I don't even want to see it anymore. I don't even want to watch it because it just makes you think of being in that spot.
I
And
know. Even Demi Lovato like almost died, and you see her last performance before that happened. Like, ugh,
and then
it's
you see certain performers start to decay and deteriorate, like Scott
mhm,
Weiland. A lot of that stuff before he went was so bad he didn't remember the words and he couldn't sing right, and everything was just getting worse and worse. And eventually he was gone.
yeah.
So it's love Drew. I agree.
Mhm.
Drew was fantastic. A great performer, a great voice, and a lot of stuff coming out from him. And I can't wait for the new stuff and bring him back here.
And if you missed the interview, you can go back and rewind live, like in real time, or you can go back and watch it on YouTube if
Yeah,
you
check
missed
us out.
the interview.
Check us out on YouTube and Twitch, Facebook, and thanks to the great work of Allie. Now you go on YouTube and search the Yo Show. We come up first. You're not going to see me.
Really?
Yeah, you're not going to see Michael. You're going to see us first. You're going to see the Yo Show first. Howie does some great work with us. We thank her for that. And see, she's got the team with the algorithms and how to follow and what to load
Thank
up
you.
and lead. So we thank you for that. She asked me a question. She mentioned my beard, and it's looking good. Is it moist? Of course, it's moist. And we, of course, welcome to the Yo Show family, the team from the Moist Collective. All I got to do is find the ad. There it is right there. So order it now. www.rumoist.com. Use the code YOSHOW20 to receive 20% off of your order. Now, the Moist Collective has some of the absolute best beard products: beard oil, beard butter, beard wash. My good friend, Jim Hutton and his wife, they just do a great job at this company. I'm sorry, I stuttered over my words again. Sometimes I forget. But I'm telling you, I use it. I've got it on tonight. It is excellent. The Moist Collective, man. Come get it right now. www.rumoist.com. These have a great name. They got great merchandise too, great t-shirts. Get the beard stuff, man. It smells good. It works good. Keeps your beard looking strong and tight like mine tonight. Unfortunately, they needed coloring to get rid of the gray, but that's coming.
Yeah, that's a great Valentine's Day present, ladies, men. Get on that.
That's a great call. I don't know what that symbol is supposed to be.
Oh, it's the hearts.
Oh,
Do
okay.
the hearts. Do the hearts.
Yeah.
Do the hearts. Oh, you're supposed to go like this. Let me hang it.
Wait.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh, I
Oh,
can't do that.
I saw enough of the
Oh,
pro
it's
football
this.
players doing the hearts for Damar Hamlin.
And I have a cool thing. Wait. So,
I love you, infinity.
Yay.
Oh. Yes, Jewel does know. Jewel, in fact, does know. And again, We'll put the banner up one more
You
time.
know,
Valentine's Day is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you look good for those dates, ladies. Make sure he looks good so you can bring him in public around your friends and he doesn't look like a slob. The Moist Collective Beard Care Products. Use the code YOSHOW20 to get 20% off your order right now. www.rumoist.com. My man, Jim Hutton. Thank you, Jim, for jumping on and being part of the Yo Show and the things that we do here. Tomorrow night, Joel, we're back in action. Yo 2.0 is live. Allie will be back with us, and we have a pretty cool guest. We have a model, entertainer, performer coming on the show, Miss Mandy Marie. Jewel, I got to behave myself tomorrow night because there's a rumor she might be coming on wearing that outfit, so I have to behave myself. I have to be a good boy tomorrow night. Jewel, tune in to watch me be ridiculous. You know, if I handle Brianna Dale, well, I don't know if I did handle Brianna Dale because she never came back again. So.
Yeah, that wasn't you though, because she's right there. But yes, behave tomorrow. I won't be there, so
I will behave.
I want to show you this picture because I have to catch up on season 2. I saw season 1; it was very cute, but holy crap, this cast of beautiful people. Look, it's Meryl Streep, Steve Martin, friggin' what's his name? Martin Short, Selena Gomez. What the hell's his name?
Which show is it?
Paul Rudd. It's Only Murders in the Building, season 3. But Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd.
I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I won't behave. Okay, go off then.
Like if I had to date a man, it'd be Paul Rudd.
Really?
I love me some Paul Rudd. Yeah,
Paul Rudd?
I'm in the personality.
Yo, after watching what was it? Invincible? Chris Hemsworth? Oh my god. He
Please.
does insane challenges trying to live longer, and wow, he's just impressive.
It's such a cookie cut choice.
But it's freaking Thor. He's it's like Superman. How you not love Superman?
Yeah, I love you, man. That was a good flick. I do love Superman. See, I grew up with Christopher Reeve as Superman. That's why it's a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister definitely had a thing for Christopher Reeves.
I think a lot of women did back then. I understand that. Topics, we got them. Real quick, of course, we're talking all night about the Eagles. I got my Eagles hat on, my Eagles shirt. The NFL playoffs are here. Last night, the Dallas Cowboys got rid of Tom Brady in rather easy fashion. It looked pretty good last night. Brady looked horrible. Jacksonville Jaguars, they came back from, 27 points down to beat the Chargers. And, of course, this Saturday night, the Eagles and Giants, everybody's worried about canceling their plans. Jewel, your plans canceled. You ready for Saturday night race for the Eagles Giants?
I thought it was coming out with you guys. Cassie invited me Saturday.
That's right. Woo. That's interesting because we got an Eagles game on, too. We'll figure it out. We'll let the women figure it out. You guys go.
I don't know what we're doing. She's like, you're coming Saturday. I'm like, okay.
Okay. The Eagles game to watch also, so we'll juggle around that.
Well, I thought that would be involved.
Probably will, one or the other. But yeah, last night was not good. I watched the Cowboys game. Had a fellow Cowboy fan talking smack with me online all night. You know, Tom Brady's 60? Come on. That game meant nothing to me. Now it's the real time. Good play San Francisco. But I love the football playoffs. I got my Eagles helmet here ready to go. I got my shirt, you know what I mean? To say this. Oh.
I love that shirt though. I need that.
So do I. This is a great shirt. Another rest in peace. I almost forgot. Robbie Bachman, drummer and one of the founders of Bachman Turner Overdrive, big 60s and 70s rock band, passed away over the weekend. Another sad one there. And the third pass away. Rest in peace to Sierra Mist, Jewel Tatey. What the heck happened here?
Story? I heard they were going away. Who drinks Sierra Mist anymore though?
Yeah, I mean it's still the poor man's 7-Up.
Yeah.
You know, and
I tried
7-Up is the name.
7-Up, 7-Up cherry. I used to do vodka with 7-Up cherry. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Terrible. But you know what? I usually drink my Captain and Diet Coke, and I ran out of Diet Coke. So my brother's like, "Oh, I have some like Pepsi Zero. If you want to use that." I'm like, "Okay, well, it's better than nothing."
It's not, is it?
It's just Pepsi. Like it tasted like Pepsi, but I remember when I was younger, like Pepsi was so much better than Coca-Cola. Like regular Pepsi, but like Diet Coke was always better than Diet Pepsi. I don't know how to explain it. But now any Pepsi product tastes like dirt.
No, I'm not a fan.
Awful.
It's overly sweetened and just ugh. But yeah, so the new one is Starry, and they're advertising as their new lemon lime drink.
Mm.
You had one. It was called Sierra Mist. Like, what did you do here?
Yeah, what are they trying to? I don't know. Maybe new marketing, but people know Sierra Mist at least. Like it's not. What was that one? Oh, Sundrop. Remember that? That lasted like
A
2
week.
seconds.
They
Yeah.
used to have back in the day. It was Pepsi Free, I think it was called, with the lemon on the can or whatever. It was just easily the most disgusting
Isn't it
thing
clear
ever.
or something? Pepsi Clear.
There's Pepsi Clear.
Ugh.
Pepsi Free is like Pepsi with a whole bunch of fake sweetener in it. Then they had like the Coke. What was that one that Aunt Mary Pat was advertising? Coke Crystal or some crap like that?
Oh, I don't know. But do you remember Clearly Canadian?
No.
That
Oh
was
wait, I
so
do.
good. It was like
That was a water product, right?
kind of, but it was like
Yeah.
bubbly. I don't
Yes.
know. It was
It
very
had,
good.
had like fruit flavoring.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember Clearly Canadian. I remember Tahitian Treat,
right.
Flying Punch.
What
Something
was
that
the one? Oh, when I was little, I used to, well, we would get off at the bus stop. We would all go to 7-Eleven, get our little drinks and stuff. And they had those Snapple, but it was like rain, fire, whatever, thunder. Remember those?
Jolt Cola. I remember Jolt. I
Jolt.
love Jolt Cola. You should drink the hell out of that.
It's on
Mm.
Amazon. I have to
On that
get that.
what? Holy shit, Clearly Canadian survives.
Allie, we
Some-
need to do some like Clearly Canadian vodka shots or something.
Maybe we'll
Hey!
message.
That's the O shot.
Maybe we'll message Clearly Canadian and see if we get a little sponsorship, and we'll
Yeah,
drink
for
their
a
sodas.
Wing Bowl Fest.
I don't know if we'll get there in time for that, but
Yeah, probably not.
so you were on a topic and I just totally blew you off there. What happened there?
Oh no! So Snapple had these like brain flavor. Oh, Mad Dog.
Oh, I just got the chills there, right up my spine, right up my spine.
Me gather. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, like rain. Anyway, they came back out, and Joey's like, "I want this." I'm like, "Holy crap! I used to drink this when I was little. Like, I didn't know they brought it back." So, I mean, I love the '90s nostalgia snacks, even though I can't eat any of them anymore.
I like Ecto Cooler when
That
that comes back. And it's funny, I was watching the Goldbergs the other night and Barry was drinking an Ecto Cooler. I'm like, holy shit.
That's funny.
That is pretty fun, Mad Dog 2020. And the other night they were going through like places in Abington and like they said, oh, we had, back then you had this eatery, that eatery, the local bar and grill, and it was Buckets. I'm like, Buckets!
Buckets of what? What are you doing?
The bar in Abington or Jenkintown.
Oh,
Buckets. I used to love
Right.
Buckets. I used to be there every weekend. I don't know if I'm proud of that or not, but
yeah. But yeah, Ecto Cooler. I was never down with like
no, Buckets.
I don't know. Even Gatorade, and I drink Gatorade a lot, but it has to be like zero or whatever. I can't drink the yellow or the green. Does not sit right.
It's something about the oversweetness. My wife drinks.
Candy. Like no.
She drinks Gatorade when she's hungover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no part. When I'm hungover, I want no parts of nothing. Maybe an egg sandwich.
Gatorade's the only cure for me. I need a Gatorade, and I'll be set. I'll eat in like 5 hours, but just give me a Gatorade.
Wow, it's like a thing I start to keep more on tap. I assume keep more here in the house. Madonna is back, heading out on a world tour this July. Apparently, going to start in Florida, make her way out of other countries, come back and close out in America. It's supposed to be called the Celebration Tour. She celebrates her large catalog of hits I, for one, am not a fan at all. Don't even plan on seeing it. But what do you think, Madonna, Jewel Taney?
I love Madonna.
Really?
I do. I love Madonna. She's looking a little.
Old.
I want to be nice. I want to be nice.
Old.
I mean, she was like dancing and everything, going hard. Like as of recently, like if she has the stamina, go on tour, like more power to her. I think she would sell out everywhere. I would see her. I mean, if anyone wants to go, but and then Pink is also coming back with Brandy Carlisle. I would see that. Like I'm not a huge Pink fan, but like paired with Brandy Carlisle, and I've never seen Pink, and I'm not really a fan of a lot of her songs, but yeah, I definitely love Madonna though.
Let the wife know 'cause she's trying to get to Pink also. She wants to see it. I met her a long time ago down at Geno Steaks. Definitely an interesting. Back before she was really big and she was driving this like horrible piece of crap, like beat up Acura, and she got out with like a long fur coat on and pink hair. And
she's so cool. She is freaking cool.
Hey, I guess. I mean, I don't dislike her. So let's hold on to this subject because this is something we talked about a few months ago.
You went there? I know people from there. Her high school.
Ruth from Ozark is playing Madonna in the movie. Remember they kept saying it was going to be Julia Garner. Remember they kept saying it was supposed to be, what's her name? Yelena Belova. I forgot the actress's name. Oh, Pugh. Frances Pugh.
Oh, yeah. Florence
Pugh. I'm sorry. Frances Florence. But so we do have a Madonna for the movie. I guess, in looking at her, it's not bad. It's a lot better than. It's not bad. She has got a wicked resting bitch face, though. But
she's a good actress, so I have faith in her. I couldn't see Florence Pugh. I feel like she's.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I love her as Yelena Belova. Yeah. And I think the character's sexy and all that. I love that. But.
Yeah, I love her and everything. I just don't see her as.
No, not as.
No.
Madonna. So, but heading out on tour starting in July. One band that's heading out on tour to a band who supposedly is ending their tour and their career, and somebody's not too happy about it. It's Kiss and Paul Stanley. The farewell tour. This is supposed to be it. Gene and Paul, and they sat down and hammered out and said, this is the last tour. It's not working anymore. Their bodies hurt. They're old. They're tired. They're pushing 70. Paul Stanley says he has a hard time coming to grips with retiring. Jewel, doesn't there come a time when you just got to say thank you, good night, and walk away?
Jeez, I thought they had their farewell tour like decades ago.
Right. They, and even like this current one between COVID and all, this farewell tour has been about 3 years worth. Like, you look like you're going anywhere anytime soon. But Paul says he hates the thought of retiring.
I mean, again, they got the stamina and the strength. More power to them.
Anymore, I don't think they do. I mean, you've seen the videos of like Gene Simmons falling off the stage and Paul runs out of gas and misses notes because he just can't quite get his fingers all the way across. It's a bad scene. For me, it hasn't been Kiss since the days of Ace and Peter anyway. Now it's just a tribute thing.
Go out on top. What's wrong with like going out on top, having a great finale tour? Like, I don't know. Look at Cher. Like, Cher's amazing, but she knows she's amazing, so she just like lives her life.
Right. I mean, like you can pack it in. I understand there's money there.
No one's expecting it is the thing. No one expects you to tour right now, so just be your rich self.
Exactly. Like I've seen Guns N' Roses the last time around, and while it wasn't a bad show at all, it was a great show. It's also not the same. It starts to, Now, Kerry King and Slayer, to me, is a little different because I think Slayer still had juice. To see them packing in, a little bizarre to me. I was kind of surprised, but they claim like they're done. And you see Motley Crue, they actually took out insurance policies against themselves that they would never perform again. And then took themselves to court to take the insurance policies down and go out and tour again. Which I hear is just, Vince Neil can't sing for shit anymore. Pack it in. Sometimes it is over.
I know. Actually, like Eminem, like I saw him once, like years ago, and then he never came back. Like he just never toured again. Like what the frick? Like he had that tour with Rihanna, but like not by himself. Like,
Yeah.
he could sell out. Like, why did he never come back? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see washed up Kiss. Come on,
I know
man.
nobody wants to see Kiss anymore. They're in their 70s, dude. Gene Simmons wiggling his tongue and wearing tights and gyrating at 70 is not cute anymore. Doesn't make the girls go wild. Doesn't even make the grandmas go wild anymore. It's over. Get out of here.
Yeah,
I used to
okay.
like Kiss too. Gene Simmons just became a. They're on my wall. Here's Gene. There's Paul.
Hmm.
There's Ace and Peter the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then there's Steven Tyler, who, gosh forbid, what has happened to that man? Anyway,
Oh, I am going to a farewell tour, though. I'm very sad. I was a fan of this group since high school. They're a Philly rap band, if you know Jedi Mind Tricks, but I saw them, about 15 years ago and then like 10 years ago, and they're coming in March to Philly for their final farewell tour. So that's happening. Very sad.
that's big for you.
I know,
That's your,
I know when to
your,
quit it.
you're a lifer, right? But know when to quit.
Yeah.
If you watched that game last night, Tom Brady, dude, know when to quit.
Yeah, you're done.
You killed so many worms last night throwing balls on the ground. I feel bad.
God, like him, just I would have went out on top. He's stupid.
He's got all these Super Bowls and all this accolades, and you're out there looking ridiculous.
Did you see that movie? It's like all the older ladies and
Yeah,
it's like 80s for Brady.
in your 80s for Brady. Like, what is that? It looks horrible.
Terrible. It might be funny though. I love all those biddies.
I would, but not, not in the movie 80 for Brady.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Right.
so we went to the movies. We have a movie review we could share. We
Cool.
saw
Megan.
Creepy Dog Megan.
Oh, tell us a little something about Megan, because it freaks, the commercial alone freaks me out.
It's so freaky.
I know.
It's like Chucky, but of
Worse.
course.
Worse, I heard it's worse than Chucky because it's got like its own emotions and such.
But yeah, I was a little leery about taking her, but it's a PG-13. We were cracking up. It was funny.
We were watching PG-13, and I may have traumatized the people in front of me and behind me because I was singing. So
Yeah, the doll starts singing like I'm bulletproof, and and then she starts singing in the like exact same pitch, and people are like, "What the?"
Yeah.
No,
It's like,
one part.
Don't give anything
Oh.
away.
don't give it away.
No
We're not-
spoilers.
Spoiler alert. I gotta put it on big letters here.
But
But
it was-
watch it. It's a good movie. But maybe you should go see a movie theater.
what would you rate it out of 5 stars?
Out of 5 stars. A 4.5.
4.5.
4.5 is a pretty solid rating.
I know.
She loves her.
I
But
guess. dude.
it's just like a half point deductive because it kind of traumatized me in the process and other people. So
Good review. Good reviews by Joey.
yeah.
We'll watch another movie next week.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're gonna watch a movie tonight.
Honey, you're going to bed, girl. It's getting late.
Something scarier.
Yeah. Terrifier.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Not for me. I did read that they have already pretty much put the plan for Terrifier 3. So
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say Megan too.
no, so Terrifier 3. Now Terrifier 3 they claim is supposed to be much scarier, much more traumatic. How?
I don't know. Just bigger and badder, I guess. Like, what else can they do? I mean, he said Pete Davidson is going to be in the third. I would like to see that.
He
That'd
wants to
funny.
be. He's a big fan of Terrifier.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm down to see Pete Davidson get murdered, like in the first scene.
Oh my God.
That's
He's
what I'm
good.
all about. No, he stinks. What else? I know we got other stuff somewhere. Oh yeah, here's a good one. So another great Hollywood remake, this time of the Patrick Swayze classic Roadhouse, starring Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal. What in the world?
What?
Wait, what?
Roadhouse, starring Conor
Oh, I heard
McGregor
you.
and Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't know. Okay, wait.
I don't know. Like, as if it can't get any worse. I guess
That
it's about as
sounds
bad as it gets.
like they're not even
518.
good looking. like it's Patrick Swayze, like
Right,
in Payday. Like
And that
someone
the,
like
the first one was horrible. They're going to make another one with a horrible non-actor and Conor McGregor.
oh my god. No. Just no. I don't know. Conor McGregor, isn't he canceled?
I don't think so. Apparently not.
And Jake Gyllenhaal, I mean, I just saw him in one movie that was pretty good, Prisoners on Netflix. But
Roadhouse, I think it was.
come on, like, no, it doesn't even make sense.
It
Why
doesn't.
remake Roadhouse anyway?
Yeah, it's like it wasn't a very good rated movie when it was out. It was
No.
funny. It has some great one-liners. Like
That's the
Well,
only thing it could be, like a funny like spoof of it, like the freaking Barbie movie. You know what I mean? But like, is Roadhouse
wait.
taken seriously with these two? I don't see it.
Who decided that Conor McGregor can act and actually save a movie? Like, no.
Yeah, like Gyllenhaal was in that Southpaw movie. Like, is he trying to box? I don't understand.
I don't understand it. Right. Pete Davidson actually is a huge Terrifier fan.
Mm,
Was trying to get in the next movie. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
yeah.
Hopefully they murder him in the first scene. But yeah, Roadhouse remake, and I'm like, no, it's not possible. Then I see who's starring in it, and I'm like, just stop with remakes. Try and make something new.
I did just watch years later. I watched it last week. I'm like, my niece, well, Duck, she's like, you really have to watch Donnie Darko again. I'm like, no, I didn't understand it the first time.
Yeah.
And then I watched it again, and then I read what you're supposed to read, like before, during, and after. I'm
You
like,
always gotta read. That's what it's there for.
what? I was really young when I watched it before, but like, I'm like, this is a great movie. Like, I'm happy I gave it a second chance because I just thought it was a freaky movie about big bunny men. That's
You
very
always
good.
got one. Like Star Wars. Like if you don't watch the beginning scroll, you're a little lost.
Every time I try to watch Star Wars, and I've gotten through some, but I fall asleep every single time. Like, nothing keeps my attention.
Really?
No, I think I've only seen like the one with Natalie Portman and Jar Jar Binks.
I've seen them all hundreds of times. I love them. Jar Jar Binks.
Doesn't-
I'm a fan.
Game reviews because the new Sonic game came out and it was pretty impressive.
New Sonic. I haven't played Sonic game. I was never good at them. I get frustrated.
Well, here they made it like an open adventure, like open world, kind of like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like every game is trying to recreate Breath of the Wild because it's so massive. You can do anything. You can climb any mountain, ride on any animal. You see a bear, you can go freaking ride it. Like you can make food and like salvage. So they try to make a Sonic game like that with like boards, and I'll have to send you the trailer because they put a Queen song to the trailer, and
Sweet.
it was like gave me chills. I was like, this game looks incredible. So
You're big into the gaming. We should try and do a Twitch thing where we game or game here. I don't know.
we should.
I'm not very good at them. So. Right, I'm not good at Sonic either. Oh, you're good at Sonic. Yeah, well, okay. Maybe we got a showdown.
The only Sonic game I beat, and I was telling Joey this, it came out on Dreamcast, and it was actually like boards, like you had to fight and then big boss at the end. But I miss Dreamcast. There's GameCube and there's Dreamcast.
I stink at all them games. If it doesn't have some kind of sport in it, I'm not good at it. I don't know.
But
I used to love buying them games, the Batman games and all that. And
Batman games were great. They're coming out with an open world Wonder Woman game too for the PS5. So
really,
oh my god,
it's going to be Cassie's next tattoo.
Mario Brother movie is coming out. Then Super Nintendo World is coming to Universal Los Angeles, and it's like right down the street from my cousin. And I need to go. I need to go.
We've been talking about that for a while. You've been pumped about that for quite a while.
It was supposed to go to Orlando first, but now LA jumped the gun, and now it's there first. So I feel like it's calling my name.
You ever want to watch some great Mario action. Watch my wife play
I know.
Mario. My
Let's
gosh,
all play. Let's just
she's
come to your
so
house and all
good
play.
at it. She's really good at it. I'm telling you. And they have it over at the brewery around the corner. Odd Logic. And she went
Really?
there one night. There's a bunch of little kids like watching her. She's playing. I'm like, babe, it's for the kids. Like, I'm playing in the middle of a game.
Yeah. It's
Yosho
there.
does
for me.
America. Wow, that's perverted. How about that? Yosho
That
does
is bad.
America.
I would want to go the northern way. Just get in a camper, go like straight across.
Yeah. So we need a few, like, we don't ask for sponsors to be greedy. We ask for sponsors so we can take these great ideas and bring them to you.
Oh, we would have to go through Nashville.
Of course.
We are good friends. So we'll
Yes,
go
yes.
go up and then down and then over and then up. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
George Pale's doing his podcast now that he's out there. So we should go out there and do ours with his.
Oh yeah. I'm down.
I'm always down for Nashville. Definitely on the bucket list once again. Come on near the end. We got about 10 minutes left. Let's take a look at who's coming on the Yo Show because we got a lot of great names coming on. And we start out with next week, ladies and gentlemen, which I am excited for. Where the hell did the thing go? I lost it. Oh, no. I just made a whole new thing about who's coming on and a whole new picture of it, and it didn't make it. Anyway, we use the old one. We'll go with this one. Here we go.
Oh.
So it's the wrong picture of Drew Smith. And but anyway, next week here on the Yo Show, we celebrate Jewel Tady's birthday with a very special mystery guest.
This sucks. I need to prepare. I can't. What am I going to do?
There's going to be no preparation. It is your birthday celebration next week, the 24th.
Oh my god.
Special guest is coming on. It's going to be great. This person's PR said, yeah, they would love to do that. Sounds like fun. So we're going to bring on a special surprise guest for Jewel. And that is, we're going to try. I'm going to bring out some booze because we got to drink for Jewel because Jewel got me shit-faced on mine. So it's only fair to repay the favor. Make sure you're here. Tell your friends.
Oh my god.
Tell your enemies. Everybody get here next week, the 24th. We celebrate Jewel Tady's birthday. January 31st, we are back with the lovely and talented actress and model, Fallon Vendetta. Talk about Jeff behaving. It's going to be a tough night. February 7th, another member of Core PR, the awesome Mr. Dane Lewis. If he's anything like we had tonight, super excited for that. It's going to be great. February 28th is the return of a lovely local singer, Miss Lisa Orlando. She's had a lot going on music-wise since we've seen her last. We'll talk about that. March 14th, another return, a guest who was on our show with just the audio version. Now we get to see her in video. It's actress Betsy Russell on the 14th. Cool. I'm super excited about that. She's super cool. A lot of great stuff coming up on the program. Got some new names coming on as well. We spoke today to the guys from Moonroof. They got a new song coming out. We're trying to squeeze them into this schedule to get Moonroof back on. Great response. First time they're on. Terrific local Philly band. We're working on things for you. We will take sponsorship even though we won't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't ask. I'm terrible at asking. Yo 2.0 tomorrow night. Ali Commissaro, of course, back in the house. We are joined by a model and actress and all that good stuff, Mandy Marie. Jules says she's wearing that outfit. Don't tune in. It's going to be a mess.
She looks like Bella Poarch.
A little bit. She does a little bit.
Bella Poarch.
She's pretty sexy. Make sure my wife doesn't watch tomorrow night. Somebody call Cassie between the hours of 8 and 10 tomorrow night.
Okay.
Good
We'll go
friend.
out.
Jeff's Howard Stern might be getting the best of them. A huge thank you to tonight's guest, Mr. Drew Smith. You can find more about Drew Instagram at Drew Smith Live, like he snuck in the live, so you can find me here. Facebook at Drew Smith Live, Apple Music, and Spotify. Download the songs are already out. Don't forget February 7th, new music coming out. Just search Drew Smith. You can find him there. Watch him on YouTube. And, of course, the website, www.drewsmithlive.com. You can see some live performances on Twitch TV at Drew Smith Live on Twitch TV. The Yo Show, of course, every Tuesday night. Yo 2.0 Wednesday nights. You can find us on YouTube now by just searching the Yo Show. Twitch at the Yo Show. Instagram, Yo Show 215. www.theyoshow215.com. We're all over the place. Don't forget Murphy's Beef and Ale. We're coming at you 110% live. You're going to see me and Jewel and Allie and dudes eating wings and people drinking beer and Tecmo Super Bowl. It's going to be a huge night out. We're going to send the scroll to you one more time here. It is... Where the heck? How come this takes me so long to do? I think of this. Here it is. Murphy's Beef and Ale, February 11th, the Saturday before the Super Bowl, 5725 Bristol Emily Road in Levittown, PA. It's going to be the Wing Bowl competition, Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. Us representing a live episode of the O Show. And plenty more. Get your pictures and autographs with Jewel Tavey. How great would that be?
Oh yeah, come out and
Hey.
get her on.
And
Me, us. When's your birthday? The 11th? Her birthday's on the... No, it can't be right.
Allie's birthday is, we actually have, I've got a special guest on the hook for her too. That's teetering. It's close. I forget the exact date. I suck at this. I'm not
That's
good at
the
this.
exciting part. And they're
Right,
on the line.
Right. The exciting part is not knowing if they're even going to show up. Jules, I know, is going to show up. That
Oh my god.
person
Should I dress up? Like, what? Am I okay?
might want to go out and get a wedding ring and all for this one. Very exciting now. A good one.
That's it. Ellie, do you know? You gotta tell me. Gotta tell me.
I don't even think Allie, does Allie know? I don't think I told Allie. I might have told Allie. Allie's birthday is February 10th. I knew that from memory.
You're an Aquarius too. That's why we get along.
That's got to be it. This is the dawning of the... I'm losing my voice from yelling
We're
at someone.
weirdos.
Hey, great.
We are the weirdos.
Agreed. Oh, I don't want to forget, early on in the program, I hate doing this. I hate not paying homage to the great people to watch, especially people with their own podcast. And early on today, let's find it. My good man, Brian Snow, Snowman in the morning said, fly, Eagles, fly, and faithful to the Bay. He's a San Francisco fan. So I tell you what, if the 49ers and Eagles end up in the playoffs, somehow there might have to be a little snippet with Brian coming on the program, talk a little smack, and make a little bet
Oh my god.
on the air.
This is gonna be insane Saturday. Like insane.
I think it is going to be. We just got to make
All
sure.
right.
We
Fine.
yeah, make it secret. It's great. Jewel doesn't know who I got for you because I'm so this person, these people, etc. Allie have been like. First was like, oh my god, yeah. Then it became should be able to remind me to. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm excited next week, though, Joe. I love surprises, and I think you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's going to be a good time. We're going to do it next week, and we're going to put up the little drink emoji and make sure you
Oh good.
might want to take the next day off from work if you can.
The next day. I took my actual birthday off, which is Friday. So yeah, I'll just be hurting because we're having fun that night. I will be
Absolutely.
here on time too. I'm sorry about today, but I will be here on time next week.
I'm starting to think you just like the special intro.
I mean, it's nice, you know.
It's nice. Again, so a huge thanks to Drew Smith. Don't forget to look up all his sites and find him. A massive thanks to the people at Core PR. We're starting to believe that we have hit yet another jackpot, as we always do with public relations people, and they're great talent. And here we go, many years stronger, many episodes stronger, and just having a great time here on the O Show. I turned us off while I was talking. There we are. And yeah, it gets better. It's got so nice. We're doing it twice, 2 nights a week. Allie's got some great local people coming on soon as well. I don't want to give out any names, so she absolutely concretes it. But my 2 girls here on Bless, you guys do excellent work. We really thank you. I thank you all for your tireless effort and the love and appreciation you bring to the show and the professionalism and the fun and trying to keep me in line. It's a job all its own. And
Not soon.
it is. It's a lot of work. All right, we'll get out of here. Most are concrete. All right, we'll line it up and then we'll do it on a 2.0 night and go down the list and make a little picture collage like I like to do, like I forgot tonight. It's still on my phone though, isn't it? There's the Eagles back up, Eagles backdrop, Eagles Giants. I forgot to post.
I love the Eagles background. I think we should keep it up all year.
Right, I like that a lot. Oh, here it was. I did make it. Oh, because I forgot I forgot the
I'm in
return
trouble.
of Sagan Amory. Sagan
Oh,
Amory come back on the
Sagan.
program.
Now
Brand new
Sagan.
music from Sagan. Hail Sagan. She will be back March 28th. Sagan Amory
Mm.
back on our program for the first time in audio video. So I'm very excited to see her like in person. I met her in person. I think I scared the crap out of her because it didn't go that well.
I have to say, I'm so excited for these next couple months. I mean, especially next week, but like
Yes.
February, March, these are like my favorite months. We got some great shows and live. I'm very excited. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Certainly is everything we hoped for when we first signed on to this many moons ago. It was all about like doing this and getting to talk to and meet these great talents. And it's even better now. Like I said, we got the video, so we watched them come on. Like tonight was really great watching Drew set up in the studio and everything just went so great. So we're blessed to do it. We enjoy it. Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Cancel all your plans from now on. Just come here. This is all you need. I don't give a shit what's on Netflix. Netflix shows are all the same anymore. Now, let's
Oh,
get the
what
hell
did I
out.
just watch?
First,
on
I shouldn't
Netflix?
know.
I forget. Oh, Apple. Oh my God. Watch Roar. All these like women's stories is very creepy. If you need something creepy to watch.
That's what I said. It's called Apple.
No, it's on Apple.
Oh, it's on Apple.
It's called Roar. There's an episode with the duck. It gets very, very freaky.
That doesn't sound kosher at all. And make sure you subscribe to us for those who are watching recorded. Hello, Apple. You got me saying Apple now. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We're also available on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Anchor. The next day, for those who are in the car and can't watch, you can always listen. Although it's not the same because you don't quite get to see Jewel. My ugly face, who cares? You don't get to see Jewel's face. It's not quite the same. Let's get the hell out of here. Just about to say something stupid, definitely. It's 10:02. I kept us late. St. Ricketts at www.stricketts.com. I just stopped it, so I got to reshare it. Man, we need a technician. Where's Mo Wise when you need him? Let's get the hell out of here. We'll see you next week for Jewel's birthday. I will see you tomorrow night on Yo 2.0. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Forgot the volume. Now goodbye. Damn it, Twitter.
Was it truly blessed and the taste of it poison deeper than you know? Kindly answer this. Was the point of it just to reach new heights of low? So I'm pulling the anchor and drifting away, blinded by reason beyond disarray. Yes, what fire cannot burn. Yes, what fire cannot burn. Wanted to embrace what it takes for it, pouring salt into the world, willing to erase what I'd lose for it, to accept what I assume. So I'm pulling the anchor and drifting away, blinded by reason beyond disarray. Yes, what fire cannot burn. taste of it, poison deeper than you know. Kindly answer this, was the point of it just to reach new heights of love? So